Okay, listen guys, I got some new cosmetic surgery done and I'm pretty nervous to show you, so whatever you do, just don't laugh, okay? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Brian.
I don't know what that's gonna look like, but hopefully future me was able to make that look convincing. You were not. Oh, okay, great.
Brian had sex with a really dumb girl. Now he's taking his friend Stewie to get some ice cream in his car.
I couldn't take that seriously, god damn it. But what's up guys, it's Destery. It's been so long, I had to remind you what my name is, because you probably don't even remember. You're like, what's this guy's name, fucking Steve or something? Yes, that is me. As the title card says, I am now Steve. I feel like if my name was Steve, I'd be into very normal things. Boy oh boy, do I love paying for insurance. Man, my favorite position is missionary. You on top, girl on the bottom, boom. Magic. I'm so sorry, I keep getting distracted. Okay, you know, I'm just now realizing that this is actually the first main channel video that I'm filming in this location. In this location. Why did I say it like that? Well, welcome to my room. This is where the magic happens. Oh, if you're feeling seduced now, just be lucky you're not here. First, I'd light a candle. What's that sweet aroma in the air? Is that Gwyneth Paltrow's This Smells Like My Vagina candle? It sure is. Oh god, what was that noise I just made, dude? Holy shit, it's so... I'm still afraid this thing's gonna explode on me one day, but you know what? I'm gonna leave that right here. Feel seduced, baby. That's for you. But you know what's better than one fucking candle? Several candles. Oh yeah, bitch. The smell in this room is fucking palpable. Oh my god, this is a bad idea. This one is smoking way more than the other ones. I'm like honestly concerned. What do I do? Well, if this candle explodes, and this is my last, you know, conversation with you guys, I have enjoyed every moment I've spent with you. I hope you have a great life. I haven't. Are you smelling the sexual tension in this room? If my name was Steve, I'd be doing you in missionary right now. Then I'd put on the sluttiest pair of Star Wars pajamas. And the second I drop some On the Floor by Ice JJ Fish, it is all over from there.
Something about the girl. This is me.
Oh shit, fuck, oh fuck! Anyways, now that I'm back from the hospital, welcome back to another video in the series where we talk about my life story, while also showing you the places I'm referencing on Google Maps. I really need a better name for these. So the first of these videos, I showed you where I grew up, my humble beginnings, if you will, in a small town in Idaho. The next video, we went over some other places that I lived in Idaho and just various memories I had there. And then the last video I did was of the dreaded Florida saga, which were some of the absolute worst fucking years of my life. But regardless, if you haven't seen those videos, definitely give them a watch first. And I'd actually intended on that being the last video of the saga because it didn't really make sense to me to make a Portland saga while I still currently live in Portland. But you know what? Screw it, because I think I got some good stories and I can always make a part 2 video of this with even more. Also inserting the obligatory join my Patreon to see an extended version of this video with even more stories. You can get cool stuff sent to you and it helps the channel. And more than anything, it helps me eat burritos until I fall into a coma. So links below.
Do it. Do it.
But yes, without further Stewie impressions or Ice JJ Fish songs, I give you the Portland Saga. Not sure if that intro card was hipster enough, but either way, our journey begins back, unfortunately, in Orlando, Florida. Because yes, back in, I want to say 2014, my then girlfriend and I were trying to figure out a new place to live. And this is actually how we settled on Portland. I'm not bullshitting you at all. We had picked about 6 different places that we were thinking about moving to. And so literally what we did was rolled a fucking 6-sided die, and whichever number it landed on, we had assigned to a place, and it was Portland. So that is actually how I decided to move to Portland. And I always think back to that memory, honestly, because I always think like, man, like what would my life have been if I rolled something else? You know what I mean? Like so many of like both the positive and negative memories, like the friends that I have now, my life as it is, this current apartment. I mean, none of this would be here if I hadn't rolled like a 3 or whatever the fuck it was, which is just wacko to think about. But yes, we moved from Orlando, Florida to Vancouver, Washington, which is basically right over the border of Portland to the north, which is 3,000 miles away apparently. And memories that I have from the actual drive was that we didn't really stop at any like hotels or anything like that. We pretty much drove the entire way. So we didn't shower. for, I don't know, however long that drive was, because we took a fucking U-Haul all the way there. So it was 2 insanely stinky boys, and then my girlfriend at the time in the middle, just like plugging her nose and trying not to vomit because we smelled that fucking bad. Like, it was intense. So yeah, we eventually found our way up into Vancouver, where I lived first, and actually where I lived for a majority of my time being up here was right down this road. And it was quaint. It was a little 2-bedroom apartment I lived in with my girlfriend at the time. And I remember that at this time I had my really shitty like Dodge Neon car, like the 2000 Dodge Neon I had, that basically is this color. Like, it was so fucking gross to look at. And that was it. Like, so we were kind of living on the poor side for a little bit, but still really nice apartments. And that really shows because I lived here for like seriously 8 years. Like, not at this one apartment because it was a 2-bedroom that we moved into, but we jumped to 2 other apartments in the same complex over the 8-year span that I lived there. So this was honestly my home for so long. Places that were really close to my apartment, there was a little ways down this road. This park up here is actually where I filmed, seriously, I want to say like 10 plus videos. Like, I know I filmed the Zelda video here, the I'm Shook music video, so many skits and things of like Chase and I. The Game Boy video was filmed here. The Wish ads video was filmed here. Like, this was the park that I went to all the damn time. Also, one memory I have here is that one time I was inviting this cute girl, this was like years later, I was inviting this cute girl to hang out with me and my friend Tay. And but at this point, Tay and I were starting to get really into sword fighting each other. And I remember that like as soon as the girl got there, he went up like 18 fucking Super Saiyan levels just to impress this girl. And I remember like every goddamn strike he would fucking hurt my hands. I was so damn sick of it. So yeah, this park I have a lot of fond memories at. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Like, thanks for watching. See you next time. I mean, you can kind of see that, like, even going down this road, it was not like a city. Like, we had little businesses left and right. There was a Taco Bell right fucking here. Honestly, this one sucked. Like, the lady fucked up my order like 85% of the time. And it was always so hard to understand what the fuck she was saying. It was seriously like this, like, I was like, what? So yeah, that Taco Bell fucking sucked. But I will show you a couple other places that I like got some fond memories at that were around here. So right here is this gorgeous lake. You can see everyone fucking during the summer is just out on it. And on this other side, which there's dangerous kids jumping off the fucking bridge all the time. Further back that way is where I filmed the Spooky Man. So one of my friends at the time took me here for the first time, and I just remember feeling like, man, this is like such a cool location. I would love to like shoot something here. And I think later that month was when we came up with the idea for the Spooky Man, and it kind of just all came together. And we actually have been filming another video there for Quest Unknown that has yet to be completed, but yeah, that video is going to be done sometime in the next year, and we're filming that there as well. Very iconic location for me. I actually think that was the first time I had ever met Tay, who's now one of my best friends, was at Lacamas Lake, because how we actually met was I was casting people for the Spooky Man, and he reached out to me. And then I think the first time I ever met him was at the park. So yeah, really good experience, honestly. Like, that still lives on in infamy in my head as probably one of my favorite memories, just because it's like I felt like I had found my purpose. Like, I was there directing all these people and making some cool art, and I don't know, I loved it. So yeah, it'll always be one of my favorite memories in this area. I'm not gonna show you like the Walmarts that I would go into because like, who gives a shit, but okay, so I guess really that's it for like where I first moved to, and you know, the immediate area was there's like 2 parks that I'd go to, and a fucking Target. Oh, sick. Yeah, so I lived in that apartment complex in 3 separate apartments, and finally when I moved out, I was moving in with an ex-girlfriend of mine who still lived in Vancouver, but just a little bit farther away, in a place called Bagley Downs. Now, I really hope that editing Destery put some sort of thunder sound in there, or made it sinister somehow, because Bagley Downs was the fucking worst. I would almost say it was worse than Florida, but I'm not gonna go there, okay? Like, at least it didn't have roaches and ants biting my fucking scrotum on a nightly basis. Pretty much the only little shimmering, glimmering nice thing that there is in Bagley Downs was the Vancouver Mall. So you can kind of see it in the distance there. It's really not glamorous or like anything more special than a normal fucking mall. In fact, it's probably shittier than a normal mall. Like, you can see this thing, you probably wouldn't even want to go in there. The last time I went in there, I'm pretty sure there was a store that was just made for people that rodeo. I don't know how that place makes money. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I'm gonna show you another business that I had always passed by, and I seriously, every time I was like, there's no way that that place makes money, because what the fuck? Right next to my apartment, there's a place, oh my god, it is still there, oh my god, called motherfucking Popcorn Cove, dude. Popcorn Cove! Like, who loves popcorn enough that they're going into a place called Popcorn Cove? So I had to know. I had to fucking go in there one day because I'm like, yo, this has to be some sort of money laundering scheme or something. But as for the rodeo store inside the Vancouver Mall, I don't know if that's still there, but I was definitely baffled by that one. And yeah, you can kind of see like there's nothing exciting too much about the Vancouver Mall. Memories I have there are mainly after I finally broke up with that girlfriend, I would come here a lot and just play DDR at the place here called Round 1. I also filmed the Let's Go to the Mall video here. So yeah, that said, that was the highlight of living in Bagley Downs. Now I'm gonna show you the non-highlight areas, okay? Like where I actually lived when I lived in Bagley Downs and why it was such a big piece of shit. So I lived right over here. Oh, yep, there it is. Fucking right there. God, just seeing this place is driving me up the fucking wall, man. God, I had just so many bad memories right here, just right here. Sorry, I'm gonna calm down. Okay, so yeah, I lived here with my ex-girlfriend. I only lived here for about a year, but it was probably one of the worst years of my life. I'll be honest. I also lived here with my same roommate that I have now, Vic. And Vic, if she was in here, she'd be able to tell you that this was also probably one of the worst memories of her fucking life too. It just, like, I can't get into detail about why. It was, let's just say it was very traumatizing for both of us. You know, that's it. Honestly, that's all I can say. Positive memories? I don't know. There's like none. What is a good memory here? Honestly, I've been sitting here for 5 minutes trying to think of one fucking good memory here. I will say that I still was fairly productive living in this house, despite the circumstances and everything. Like, this is where I made the song, The Summer We Fell in Love. This is also where we filmed Viewers Choose My Birthday Presents, and then also the little bits that you actually can see of this place in a couple of the Q&As that I did, as well as the first ever Quests Unknown video. So, like, I still was very productive here. It's just that, you know, a lot of traumatizing stuff was happening around this time living here, and it was kind of sapping my will to want to do other things, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I know you guys are seeing this and you're seeing like, oh wow, beautiful neighborhood, well, look at that like sky in the background, and like, oh my god, there's so many trees and pretty shit. I'm seeing like the most sinister image that a person can conjure right now. So I'm gonna skedaddle out of here. Fuck that. But seriously, like, a road away was where actual Bagley Downs was, and actual Bagley Downs was the highest crime rate anywhere in Vancouver. Don't know why, but seriously, there was at least a couple of shootings in almost every fucking gas station around. It just wasn't a safe place to live. Oh god, dude, just like yucky Bagley Downs, dude, yucky. It even sounds like not a good place. Like, welcome to Bagley Downs. Oh god, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Also, the sad part about living in Bagley Downs is even when I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, I still had to live in Bagley Downs because the circumstances of, like, you know, the breakup and everything like that, I had to get out really goddamn quickly for my own mental health. And so I moved in with Tay, who lives right down the road, and I'll go over there real quick as well. So yes, oh my god, is that my car? Oh my god, that's my fucking car. What? December 2022, yeah, that's my fucking car, holy shit. Whoa! I've never had this happen on anything. Wow, I found me. I found literally, there I am. Okay, so yeah, that's my car, and I lived with Tay in this apartment right here, the one with the traffic cone outside, because Tay likes to be a menace and steal traffic cones and shit. Oh my god, yeah, there's the fucking Mjolnir that I put in the goddamn window. What the fuck, dude? This is so weird. Okay, anyways, you know what's crazy too about this is that you can see that it's kind of like frosted on the ground right here. This was probably really close to when, I think it was like the first time I ever got COVID. I was just, you know, quarantining myself, but I saw that it was like frozen outside. So I went outside and I just was hockeying in the street. It was actually kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, about this apartment, it was just really fucking gross and dilapidated in there. And more than anything, I just didn't have any room for any of my shit. So I had to get a separate storage unit to put like most of my like nerdy shit in. That said though, and I'm being genuine when I say this, living here with Tay was some of my favorite memories that I've ever had, because when you move in with someone that you've never lived with before, it's a gamble of, will this work? You know, like, will I be compatible living with this person, or will it potentially ruin a friendship? Because that's also happened, you know? So living with Tay, we just kind of found that we are very compatible and we never got sick of each other. Our friendship just ended up being closer because of the time that we spent living with each other. So that was really nice. So I guess I'll show you just two more places that I really enjoyed in Vancouver, because I don't want to paint this picture like it was all terrible. It was mainly just living in Bagley Downs that was the worst. And one of them was this little road. Wow. Oh, God, dude, my heart. Oh. There was a place near the Clark College that when I lived up here, probably the highlight of like my memories living up there was going to this massive tennis court. One memory that I can share that I think is hilarious, and I don't think I've ever actually told this story to anyone, but there was this dude that would every so often come onto the court and would see us, like, you know, rollerblading out there, and he would yell at us, and he'd be like, hey, you know you're not supposed to be fucking rollerblading out here, right? And like, I remember the first time I was just like, yeah. And he's like, oh, but you're gonna do it anyway? I'm like, yeah, I mean, we're not hurting anyone. We're just out here rollerblading. So the next time I see him come, like, because I see him come. That's it. That's the end of the story. No, he's parked over here, and I see him, like, approaching, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's gonna say something. So I don't know if you've ever done this, but it's something I've learned from when I was being bullied in high school, is that sometimes if you prepare a comeback, it can help awkward situations. So, and it's only, the reason that I say prepare a comeback is because I'm not gonna like instigate anything. I'm just gonna, if the guy says something to me, I'm gonna say something back. And I also had the foresight to be like, if this motherfucker does say something, I'm going to press record right now so that I can have evidence of this interaction. And sure enough, the same motherfucker goes and says, hey, you know, you're not this rollerblading out here. Again, says the same shit. And so I could just tell you what I said back to him, but I think it's funnier if I actually play the audio clip. So here is me talking to this old motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a school attendant here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a plane doctor?
Doesn't matter what I am.
Yeah, then shut the fuck up.
No, so shut the fuck up.
Hey, I got security. Hey,
Call him.
give me your license plate number.
Oh no. Oh no, we're out here playing sports. You better watch out. We're deviants, dude.
Yeah, I know you are, asshole.
Hey, have a good one. Try to be less miserable, dude. So I know you're probably like, Destery, that's a little bit mean, man. Like, that's kind of rude. No, okay? Like, you don't understand. No one had a problem. Security would drive by and see us and be fine with it, because we're not out here hurting anyone, and we were very respectful to other people on the court. It's just that this guy had a problem with us, and it was also really fucking weird, because when you're playing tennis, you're usually playing against someone else, right? That's the whole point of it. This fucker was like, I don't even know, 60? And would come out here alone. So who's weirder? Two fucking like millennials coming out and just enjoying playing hockey together? Or some fucking 65-year-old man who's out on a college campus just creeping? Like, you be the judge, man. Oh God. But yeah, I know that's a weird thing to say, like that was a highlight, but that like lives rent free in my head forever. And then the last place that I wanted to show you in Vancouver was the Vancouver waterfront. This is probably the best, the nicest place in all of Vancouver, and it's because it's incredibly modern. But this was the source of so much serotonin for me over the course of a couple of years. You can see this like gorgeous like little structure as it overlooks the river here. Mainly I would just come here to like rollerblade and like interact with people. So yeah, it's just really modern and pretty, and I loved coming down here. And then the rest of like downtown Vancouver is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like I showed you the waterfront, but like all of pretty much downtown Vancouver is so pretty. Like there's this massive park that I've definitely gone to like more than 20 times just to hang out. Honestly, looking at just images from living in Vancouver, like this whole area, like it makes me miss it so much. Like I loved downtown Vancouver. Also, there's Vancouver Lake up there where we filmed the intro to Quests Unknown. And this is actually the first time I ever saw Tay naked. So that's a fun memory. Yeah, we were here at the Vancouver Lake, and he decided to strip down naked and get into the fucking river or lake. We also sword fought. I think he might have been nude for that as well. I don't remember. But yeah, that's pretty much all of Vancouver that I really want to show off. I mean, obviously there's other memories. Like further up north, there's a place called Yakult, which has some of the most gorgeous fucking waterfalls. And then one of the most iconic places for me now is a place called Yale Bridge up here, which even if I show you, I think like a little glimpse of it, you might recognize because I've posted it so much. Just look how gorgeous this is. Oh my god. Even just looking at it, man. So this is where anytime that I've posted like me on a rope swing jumping into a fucking crystal blue ass lake, that's where this is. This really has become a spiritual place for me. Every time I've come to Yale Bridge, it's been with Tay or Wheezy or both of them, and it's always been when one of us is going through a hard time. Mostly me, I'll be honest, but there has been times where like I've taken Tay here when he's going through a rough time. And we come here and we just have a good time. We jump into the fucking water and kind of forget about our problems for a little bit. Try not to get emotional. I don't know why I'm emotional, dude. Yale Bridge, I guess. That's all of Vancouver, pretty much. I know that like this is supposed to be the Portland saga, and I haven't even shown you any of Portland, but I thought it was necessary to show you most of like where I lived and all of that stuff. But now that we're done with that, I can actually go into Portland and show you the places that mean the most to me, because yeah, while I could show you all of the places that I've gone to, I don't think that's super interesting. And I think that I would rather show you places that genuinely mean something to me. So that said, let's start with Mount Tabor. So in the middle of eastern Portland is a place called Mount Tabor Park. Where I started going to Mount Tabor more often was when I was on Snap Maps. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Snap Maps, but when you're on Snapchat and it will sometimes pop up with like a red blip if something is going on like downtown or wherever. And I saw that in the middle of the night on a Wednesday, for some reason Mount Tabor was red, and I was like, huh, what the shit is that about? So I click on it, and there's just so many images and videos of people just dancing here, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I try to go to Google and look it up. No one has a fucking clue. It turns out that every Wednesday on Mount Tabor they throw a rave, because during COVID, when all the clubs shut down, people needed a place to dance. And so enough people started coming to this thing weekly that seriously, and I can show you images, the last few times that I've gone, it has seriously been festival level, where there's like 100+ people that show up every single week just to dance. So last summer, 2023, I went seriously every week, and it was a great place for me to interact with people. And this is where I started spinning like lightsabers more often and poi. So my go-to spot, which I can probably show you images I've taken on this hill, was right here. And I would just sit up there and just kind of people watch, because even when I'm not feeling social, sometimes you want to be around in social situations but just not talk to people or whatever. And so I would just be up there hanging out.
Just hanging out.
So yeah, that's Mount Tabor, and even still to this day, post-COVID, that's still going on, and I love that, and I will always be part of the Mount Tabor dance community. So yes, if you're ever in Portland on a Wednesday, definitely check it out.
1 out of 4 men have erectile dysfunction. I'm one of the 4.
Oh
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Another thing that I just have to mention, because it was a highlight of my life for sure, was there's a little park south of Jensen Beach, which Jensen Beach is this little island that you can see here where they have like various businesses like Best Buy. I think there's a porno shop here somewhere. Yeah, right there. I don't know that. I've never been to a porno shop. What are you talking about? But south of that, there's this park called, I think it's this one, the Delta Park area. I mean, yeah, pretty much this whole area. So yeah, Delta Park was one of the first places that I ever met Mr. Pixel Wheezy, who is now one of my best friends. I don't remember why we met here, but I remember that when we did try to meet here, it had been so overrun by homeless people during COVID that it was like impossible to actually like go in here. So we ended up meeting at a Starbucks nearby instead. But yeah, so this was one of my favorite parks. So on the note of more spiritual places for me is a place not really in Portland, a little bit east of Portland, called Edgefield. Edgefield, yeah, 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 yeah. So I think around 2015 was the first time I'd ever been to Edgefield, which is basically a mixture between a venue, a place where people can golf. There's like a fucking winery there. There's a hotel there. There's just a lot. It's a whole bunch. I'll go through it when we get more into it. But the first time I'd ever gone here was because I was watching one of my favorite bands, Empire of the Sun, play live here. And it was seriously like, I still have vivid memories from that. And that was back in 2015 because it would just left an impact on me that I will never forget. So Edgefield I have described as probably the closest you'll ever get to the Shire from Lord of the Rings without going to New Zealand and instead being in Oregon. The vibes that it gave me was just so cozy and amazing. Honestly, the pictures that I'm showing you right now are not even doing it justice. But yeah, so it's this winery. There's actually a couple of businesses along this little path here. Like this right here is a lady that does like pottery. And every time I go there, I make sure to get something from her because I just think it's so cute that she's been there for so long. This building and this building over here are both restaurants that you can go to. Right in here, there's a guy that blows glass, which is really sick. There's like amazing gardens that are all throughout here as well that are just beautiful. So it's this just amazingly beautiful, absolutely serene fucking venue. And I've always said that if I were ever to get married, it would probably be at Edgefield. Unfortunately, my ex-girlfriend that I was with the longest and I broke up before I could ever really take her here, I think. And then the recent ex-girlfriend that I did take here, the first time we ever told each other that we loved each other was here. So it has a lot of meaning to me, even if, you know, those memories are kind of scarred at this point and everything. Still, I can come here and absolutely just bask in the glory and amazingness that Edgefield is. And I love that I'm showing you a parking lot while talking about glory. So yeah, just a lot of fantastic memories I've had here, and I will likely go again this year just because, again, it's one of my happy places. Now, there's a couple places in Portland that I could show you, like the Lloyd Center, where I spent a lot of my time ice skating, the Moda Center, where I watched a ton of like hockey games at, but there's really no point in doing that. I think that those things are just kind of like redundant. So instead, I'll be showing you the 3 places in actual Portland that have probably meant the most to me while living here. And I'll start with the Tom McCall Waterfront Park. So I think anyone that comes into Portland has probably been here. I know that every year they have a Pride Parade that goes through here. And the most recent memory I have actually is when Tay and I went and I got those really, really revealing shorts. But great memory there. It's also like really close to a lot of like Portland staple businesses. You know, you got Voodoo Donuts that's really close over here in Old Town. So kind of up in the hills of Portland, there's like a few parks and a zoo that are all kind of interconnected. Probably the most amount of time I spent is here at Washington Park because it was an archery range. And so I would try to often hone my skills so that one day I can impress Merida from Brave enough that she'll marry me, of course. And I never really got great at edit it, but yeah, I'd come here a lot just to do that. And then also really close to Washington Park was the Rose Gardens, which is also pretty famous here in Portland. Ah, yes, here we go. So there's also, yes, the Rose Garden, which you can see is just gorgeous. Like year round, it's just fucking a gorgeous spot to be. One of my favorite memories while being at the Rose Garden is that there's this like kind of like amphitheater area right here, which you can see is kind of just like this open area while there's a bunch of like seating and stuff. And so Tay and I sword fought each other in that amphitheater, and we had like a little bit of an audience. That was just kind of a fun memory. But really, the final place that I want to show you that is going to be insanely underwhelming when I do show you, but it was called Rainbow City. So Rainbow City used to be right here. You can see that the sign still says it's there, which kind of makes me emotional a little bit. And Rainbow City was where I've spent a lot of time in 2023, getting to know some amazing people, socializing more, and it's also where I threw my first ever rave that I've ever organized, which was the One Night in Hyrule rave, and definitely a highlight memory of mine. But honestly, almost every memory being in Rainbow City was a highlight memory for me. Like I can recall the first time ever meeting one of my close friends that I met there. We set up a bunch of video games upstairs, and I remember playing through all of Jak 1 there. We played through all of Lord of the Rings Return of the King, another of my favorite games there. And while it's incredibly sad to me that this place is now closed down, a place that looks so unassuming as this had some of the most incredible people I've ever met, and I'm still in contact with this to this day. I can't tell you how much this place has meant to me and the people that I've met there. So yeah, that's Rainbow City. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Well guys, that said, that's where I'm gonna leave this one today. I think I've talked for about an hour and a half, and I should probably shut the fuck up. However, there are a lot more places that I could have shown you. In fact, I haven't even gotten into the area that I live now. So if you would like to see more of these videos, let me know in the comments down below. As a final note, I guess I really just can say, like, I've lived here for practically 10 years now, and I really don't see myself moving out of this area unless I was to like move to Canada or something like that, which I don't see happening. But truly, like, the best people that are still my best friends to this day, I met here. And yes, while you could throw in that some of the worst people I've met have also been from here, I'm going to just generally blanket statement say that my experiences here in Portland have been a net positive for me and my life, and I don't know where I would be if I would have rolled something different when I decided this is where I was going to live. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video of me showing you more places in my life. Make sure to like this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you'd like to see an extended version of this video, you can check that out at my Patreon at patreon.com/CaptainDestus. Big thanks to all my Patreon supporters who are now being shown on the screen right now. If you would like to be one of these names scrolling up the screen right now, again, check out the Patreon links below. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching me ramble about the memories that I've had in this lovely, lovely place. I will see you next time, and fair winds.